Mike Malaska, PGA Director of Instruction at Superstition Mountain Golf and Country Club in Gold Canyon, in our 2017 Southwest PGA Teacher of the Year. Mike not only can teach the game, he can play it at a high level as well. Born and raised in Salt Lake City, Utah, Mike is a graduate of Weber State University in Ogden, Utah, where he was a member of the golf team that captured 3 Big Sky championships from 1973 to 1975. He was named to the All-Big Sky Conference first team 3 consecutive seasons and was named an NCAA All-American. During his time in college, he won the Utah Open as an amateur, becoming the first person to do so in 25 years. He was inducted into the Weber State Hall of Fame in February of 1999 and was inducted into Utah Golf Hall of Fame in 2015. Still an outstanding senior player, Mike has gained national acclaim for his teaching. He worked alongside legendary instructor Jim Flick with the Nicholas Flick Golf Schools from 1991 to 2002 and served as Director of Instruction for the Jack Nicklaus Golf Center in Japan from 1992 to 1995. Since 2000, Mike is ranked among Golf Digest's America's top 50 greatest teachers and currently is listed as number 18 in the country. Mike has also been selected as Golf Magazine's top 100 teachers in America every year since 1995. His students range from the general public golfer all the way up to the PGA, LPGA, Champions Tour players. He opened the Great Life Malaska Golf and Fitness Facility, which focuses on growth of the game initiatives. Starting with just 2 courses, he and his team have grown it into a national franchise. The facilities focus on families playing the game and having fun together. Always giving back to the association, Mike encourages fellow PGA professionals to observe his teaching methods and assist them on developing and furthering their careers as a successful instructor. His knowledge of instruction has been featured in cover stories in hundreds of articles in numerous publications, from Golf Digest to Golf Magazine. He has written 2 books, I Feel Your Pain in 2013, and The Invisible Swing, which we published in 2018. Mike was recognized as the Utah PGA Teacher of the Year in 1996, the Southwest PGA Teacher of the Year in 2010, the Southwest PGA Senior Player of the Year in 2011, and the PGA of America National Teacher of the Year in 2011. In addition to Superstition Mountain in Las Sendas, Mike is currently the PGA Director of Instruction for the Nicklaus Academies worldwide and serves as a consultant to the TaylorMade Golf Company. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 2017 Southwest PGA Teacher of the Year, Mr. Mike Malaska.
You know, obviously here in the Southwest section, you need no introduction, for that matter, nationally. And your reputation is definitely unparalleled, but what some people don't realize is the level of golf that you've been able to play at during your career. So my question to you is how has that stellar playing ability helped you teach the game to all levels of golfers in your career?
Well, I understood early on from other sports kind of how it applied. So I had a lot of success really early, and I turned out to be a pretty good player in a couple of years. And then I kind of got sidetracked with a lot of the lessons that I was taking, and I got confused on the game. And I worked really hard at trying to be a good player and was able to play in a number of US Opens and PGAs and did all that kind of thing. But something had happened, and I just didn't feel comfortable like I did when I was a kid. Of course, everybody told me, well, when you're young, you just play, you know, and you're not worried about it. And I knew there was something else there, so I kept playing and I kept studying the game and studying teaching and taking lessons. And, you know, I started to kind of sort through the fog, if you want to call it that, and to come down to where there's a basic skills and there's a pathway to being a good player. And no matter who you are, you've got to go through that pathway. And so you're building on top of things. And if you miss a skill, you get to a point where that skill ends up really killing you as a player. So that really helped me to help everybody every level, because it helped me develop actually a pathway, you know, a learning development skill pathway instead of just random tips. The other thing from playing golf for a living, I mean, you get to the point where when you talk to people about competing and what it really does for them. See, we're not in the golf business. You know, this is one big thing I've learned. We're in the human development business. That's what we do. Whether you're a teacher, whether you're working in the pro shop, whatever you're doing, we have the opportunity to touch people's lives. We see so many people and youth that my deal now is what I see what I'm doing as not just teach golf. I'm constantly touching people's lives with the game, with talking to them about what's going on. So for me, it's been easy because I can relate to any level player that whoever wants to talk to me. And I have fun teaching every level. I don't just like teaching a tour player or really good players. I like teaching beginners. Just ask my wife. She'll take any phone call from anybody. So it's been interesting. The playing side of it has also kept me interested in the game, which I think is really important. Me playing the game and still playing in the PGA Senior Championships and I'm going to try to qualify for Shinnecock this year because that was my second U.S. Open that I played really well in. I'd love to qualify for it. Right. Will I? Probably not. But that passion and that fascination with the game is what's really kept me going.
Well, best of luck in that qualifying. We're going to be rooting for you. So you worked along the late and legendary Jim Flick for many years. How has that personally impacted the way you teach and the methods that you apply to your students?
Well, most of you knew Jim and met Jim. And we can talk about teaching methods all you want. That really wasn't what set Jim apart. What set Jim apart was his ability to connect with people. Everybody felt special when they were around Jim. All of the students, it didn't matter if it was some lady that was a beginner or Tom Lehman. He gave them the same amount of energy, the same effort, and you really felt like that not only felt but understood that he was totally committed to helping you with what you felt was important, which was the game, and it didn't matter who it was. So that's what Jim taught most of us, was that passion for helping people and connecting with people more than the golf swing.
That's great. You also spent 3 years teaching overseas in Japan under Jack Nicklaus Golf Center. So my first question is, did you enjoy that? And how different of an experience is it teaching golf in Japan versus here in the United States?
I did enjoy it. I learned the language, which was interesting. Different, I think the PGA, I think we're starting to learn now in America that golf isn't play 9 holes, play 18 holes, get a handicap card. I mean, that's a certain select few of people that we have in the game. But when I was over there, the first lesson I learned after a few months was I was doing short game with them, chipping, putting, how important this is. And then one of the owners took me aside, said, Mike, you have to understand something. Most of these people have never been on a golf course, nor ever will be. And I found that interesting. So I started asking people, instead of just, do you play golf, you ask them that, and they all say yes. Okay, the next question is, how many times have you been on a golf course? Well, about 80% of them had never been on a golf course. So golf is more than going to a golf course. That's why Top Golf and what we're seeing, it's a great, phenomenal game, but it doesn't have one identity. It has to appeal, and we have to start looking at how can we make golf fit into everybody's life rather than how does their life fit into golf.
Wow. So regarding mentoring, that's been kind of the theme tonight. It happens every year when we come to these award ceremonies. Someone is mentored by someone, and a lot of the award winners mentor others. So you've spent a lot of time throughout your career making sure that you're mentoring other instructors, both locally here in the Southwest and also around the country. So how important is that work for you, and particularly now at this stage in your career?
It's probably the most important. I mean, I received the 2011 National Teacher of the Year, and I wanted to do it without a tour player, which very few have, because I wanted it to be through education of our own association and those types of players. And it's always been a big part of who I am, and it still is, and it's probably the most important thing now, to pass on knowledge and education and help the younger people to have a better start in teaching the game so they can have more impact on people. For me to have one of my daughters, I'm extremely proud of both of them, but to have Ashley pushing me and have her involved and to see her growth in teaching the game, and all the teachers out there, I mean, that's what really drives me now, is to help pass on information that I've learned, things that I've learned that have really helped me in understanding, so that a lot of us don't just take something that you hear and just go, okay, that's because some doctor says it's right, or some specialist says it's right. We need to have a little bit more education about who people are, how the human body works, so we don't just buy into things that aren't necessarily correct or don't need to even happen.
Wonderful. It's definitely an art, and it takes a special person to have the success that you've had in this industry. On behalf of our section members, we can't be more proud than the way you represent our section. So keep doing the great work, and I hope you enjoyed your night. Congratulations on 2017 Teacher of the Year.
Well, and I'd like to thank, especially, you know, when you have these awards, obviously everybody talks about it, and I will my family for a second, but
Absolutely.
Superstition Mountain, Mark Renault and Susan Lathke, being able to be at Superstition, most of you know that, for 19 years. I'm the dinosaur. I'm the only one left from the original group. Lloyd and Tanis McBean at Lucentis, they've just been tremendous with that facility. So I've been very lucky to be there. Barry and Linda Nagy, who represent here tonight with me, some of my best friends, which I've made in golf. And then, I don't know about a lot of you, but I have something at home. I have a magic house. I don't know how it happens. I leave for my entire career. I leave, I come back, it's perfect. I get up in the morning, everything's in place. I leave in shambles, I come back, everything's ready. You know, it's just incredible how this happens. And I've been able to share that with my wife, Charlene, over the last 38 years. I hope she's enjoyed the magic as much as I have. But that she obviously has been a big part of my life. And then my two daughters, Ashley and Jennifer, I don't know how many of you know, but I had a stroke a couple years ago, and laying there not being able to move and not being able to talk, this award has meant a lot because of that. But laying there, all of a sudden you have a different perspective on life, and all I could think about was, I hope they're okay. And so I'm very fortunate to have them in my life and the PGA and being able to teach. And thank you very much for the opportunity again.
You have a big heart. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Congratulations.